Hey everybody, I'm Coach Tom. Welcome to my channel, Creating Your New Reality. I'm a self-actualization coach. What that means is that I help people cultivate, develop, and then express their authentic selves in the areas of their careers, their relationships, and their personal development. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, over the last week, I've really been stuck on a single word, and that has been create. Okay, we are creators, we are creating, all these different variations of that. Today, I wanted to talk about how do we create our best life? What are some of the things that we need to have in place in order to do that? Okay, and the first thing that you need to do is decide what that life is. What does it look like? You need to make some decisions. You have to look at where you are and where do you want to go. Neville Goddard talks about living in the end. Where do you want to end up? The great Stephen Covey talks about beginning with the end in mind. Okay, really important. It's just like when you sit down, you're in your car, you're ready to go on a trip, you dial up your GPS. What do? Do you type in the address where you're at now while you have your phone in front of you? Or do you type in the address of the place you want to go? Okay, same thing. So you've got to make that decision. You've got to lock it in and say, you know what, this is where I'm going. And I know I talk about this a lot, but I want to say that it's okay to sometimes recalibrate. Okay, you know how it is when you decide, hey, what's down this street? You hit the navigating button and it tells you recalibrating in the little British voice. And next thing you know, you're going down a different street, but it's still orienting you towards where you want to end up. Okay, it's even okay to pull over and put in a different set of coordinates. Okay, nobody's going to take away your birthday if right now where you're standing, if you say, I want to go do this, and then maybe 6 months from now, well, you know what? Maybe I'm better suited for that over there. Maybe this answers my call. Things like that will happen. See, but this is the power of decision, okay? Decision has power. What happens is when you make a decision, the universe starts conspiring to line things up for you. Bridge of incidents is a way you can look at it, where thing after thing after thing comes to you to aid you on your journey. Okay, but sometimes the things that take you seemingly 180 degrees the other way, those also manifest as well. And sometimes, you just know that that's the road you've got to be taking. Sometimes you go around the mulberry bush a few times before you find your true course, and that's okay. But you've got to make a decision. The key is to make that decision, but also get off dead center and start moving. Now, y'all remember when you were a little kid, the Christmas specials, like The Year Without a Santa Claus and all that kind of thing? I still watch those, okay? I don't let a holiday season go by. But do you remember the little penguins? Okay, where they would sing that little song, put one foot in front of the other. Okay, you have that little mantra in your head. Okay, when you're going somewhere, keep going. Okay, keep walking. So you want to make that decision. One of the most important things you could do. The next thing you want to do when you make that decision, okay, is speak. Speak to that direction that you're going to. The Bible even talks about if you speak to a mountain and tell that mountain to move, it will move. Okay, loosely paraphrasing, but that's what it says. So I want you to speak. What that means is speak to yourself. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. This is who I am. Nothing's knocking me off of it. So yeah, you have these affirmations, these things that you say about where you're going. Make sure you say them. Make sure they're positive, but make sure you say them. Okay, say them to yourself. Say them in your prayers. Don't get in your prayer closet and say, God, take the wheel, please do with me what you will, as long as your will be done. Okay, if you pray like that, you're never going to move anywhere. Okay, what's going to happen is you're going to waste a whole lot of time. What you do is you need to decree a thing and say, God, I thank you that I have this. Or universe, I thank you that you've given me this. I thank you that I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm doing this. I thank you that you've equipped me to be the type of person that can go do this. Okay. So speaking, very, very important. Also dovetailing with that is writing. Write it out. Okay. I like scripting. My how I want my day to go, how I want my life to be. I'm always writing. You should see the volume of notebooks I have filled. But you know what? What I'm doing in my life were things that I've written down daily within the last few years that, surprise, they're here. Actually, it's no surprise. I wrote it. It's going to happen. You can do that too. Now, the other thing is I want you to do is I want you to visualize, okay? That's sitting down and in your mind's eye, just take a few deep breaths, keep your eyes turned upward, focused on your third eye here, and visualize scenes. What does it look like? Your goal. What do you see yourself maybe, I don't know, passing the bar exam, okay? Don't just visualize passing that bar exam, but think about what life as a lawyer will be for you. Think of what life would be if you were that high-powered attorney, whatever you want to do. Maybe you're crusading for justice. I don't know. What does it look like to you? Okay, this is the cool part of life. I'm going to digress here a second, but whatever you've got going on, okay, is what you've manifested and what you've thought about up to now that has been made manifest. That's what your now is, okay? What you've got coming to you next, okay, you get to be the author of. Isn't that cool? So now you're visualizing. Think about it. If you're thinking about a person in your life, what that relationship looks like, think about what it's going to be 5-10 years down the road. What are you doing? Do you want a house? What does that house look like? Okay, throw some other senses in there too. Play with hearing. Do you hear somebody walking through the front door going, "Honey, I'm home"? Do you hear that? Do you hear animals carousing around in the house, having a good old time? Do you hear little kids? Do you hear the pitter-patter of little feet? Okay, what do you want your family life to be? What do you want things, whatever you want to have happen, involve your senses, okay? Speak, think, write, visualize. If you visualize good meals, okay, what do they taste like? What do they smell like? All these things. Be creative, okay? This is supposed to be fun, all right? It's not some crazy thing. It's supposed to be just fun. It's a great life if you do these things, okay? So never forget that. So we're visualizing, all right? Now, the other thing I want you to do, what I'm talking about with the speaking and the visualizing, the writing, these are daily disciplines, okay? I want you to do them all the time. I want you to be in control of your thoughts all the time, okay? I want you to be in control of your words all the time. So you can't just really say something positive about your day once. You have to, while you're driving to work, you can't think, gee, Mr. Melton's such a fuckhead. I can't believe it. They always stop that, okay? While you're driving down the freeway, okay, I want you to think lovingly, okay? Imagine lovingly for yourself, for your boss, all your coworkers. It changes things. Trust me, okay? So these are all things I want you to do every day. The other thing is going to take a little bit more balls, but you need to do it. Okay, quit listening to everybody, okay? If you know people in your life are somewhat toxic, imagine lovingly for them from a distance, okay? But you don't have to share everything that you're doing with them, okay? You don't want to seek their approval. They can't give it to you. They're just reflections of you anyway, so you can't really rely on them to pat you on the head and tell you that you're a good boy or girl, or you're going to be, if you've had trouble with your parents being supportive of you, don't start now, okay? It's not going to work, okay? Go do your thing, make it happen, imagine lovingly for them, slowly watch that relationship change, but don't sit them down at the dining room table and say, guys, I'm doing this new thing, isn't it cool, okay? Number one, they may not even mean to, but if they're mean to you, it's probably because they don't understand you, okay? That was something that I lived. My family had no idea what to do with me, with some of the stuff I came up with, and only now do they understand me somewhat, I think. So, but you know what? I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it. I just have good times with them, and I love on them, and there you go. So you got to stop listening to people, okay? This is how you create, okay? You build things. Things like visualization, scripting, affirmations, those are tools in your toolbox, okay? The dreams that you have, the things you want to do, that's your building material. That's your bricks. That's your lumber. Those are your things, okay? And with these things, with your tools and your materials, you are creating, okay? You are building. This is how you do it. Okay, there I go with that song again. This is how we do it. So I want you to think about these things and also be really careful about who you share things with, okay? Not everybody is on your side right from the jump, so don't even worry about them, okay? So don't do that. The other thing I want you to do, and I know that this is also something that I'm going to spend a lot of videos on because it's very, very important. This is meant to be kind of an overview of the creative process. But the other big thing you've got to do is change your belief system. Okay, and I'm not saying that if you're a Christian, you need to be a Buddhist or vice versa, or suddenly become an agnostic or become a druid and go sit in the woods. Not saying any of that. When I talk about change your belief system, okay, you know what you believe about yourself. Okay, what do you tell yourself about yourself all day long? What do you tell other people about you all day long? Okay, if it's negative, that's what you believe. That's your belief system. If it's positive, well then you know what? You're light years ahead of the rest of us. So you go on and just keep rocking that. That's a beautiful thing, and tell me how you do it. Okay, that's wonderful. But if you're going to really make a run at this and creating a brand new you and creating a new life, okay, you have to put down these belief systems that don't serve you. It's like walking down the road in shoes that are too small, that don't fit, okay? None of us that were born after a certain age, none of us have corduroy pants anymore. They don't fit, they ain't hip, they ain't cool. We burned them a long time ago, okay? So we don't have those anymore. So these limiting belief systems are like your corduroy pants or the paisley shirts or some other hideous remnant that you can think of from when you were a kid. Maybe it was the big hair in the 80s or whatever. I don't know. I always thought that was pretty cool. But you know what? That's just me. But where I'm going with this is pay attention to what you say and what you think about yourself. That makes up your belief system, okay? You're never going to get anywhere if you maintain the same belief system, but you do all this other stuff, okay? You can affirm. You can script and script and script. You can run through, I don't know, how many pens of ink and how much paper and scripting. If you don't believe what you're writing down, if you don't believe you can do it, you ain't going to do it, okay? It's not going to show up. You have to work on changing the inner you. That's really the most important thing. That's foundational. I want you to write this down. This is something that Zig Ziglar always says, and I refer to it often. You have to be before you can do, and you've got to do before you can have. Okay? Got that? You have to do, you have to be before you can do, and you have to do before you can have. That's the chain, all right? So I want you to think nothing but good things. That's your homework assignment, okay? As soon as you shut this video off, what I want you to do, first I want you to like it. I want you to share it. I want you to tell all your friends about it. Hope you do that. Hope you like my content enough that you do that. Bless you if you do. But I want you to write down what you love about yourself, okay? I want you to write down what's good about you, okay? And it doesn't have to be anything uber complicated. Just what do you like about yourself? What makes you happy about you? What makes you happy when you think about you? Okay, write that down. Start believing on that. Start scripting on that. Start affirming that. Start there, okay? Start turning everything around because, you know, big ships make wide turns. It takes a little while to get going in the other direction. But if you keep this up, you'll get there, okay? I love you guys so much. I believe in you, okay? I truly do. And again, thank you so much. I always want you to be self-actualized, get all your dreams, but I want you to be yourselves. I love you. Have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.